Hey guys, Matt Kelly, Jason Ralston, and we were just having a chat earlier about young people entering the market because, let's put it this way, JMD, we're hiring young people. You are like talking to young people all the time about future job opportunities and whatnot. And we're talking about like what we would do today if we were starting out, if we were say in year 12 or even year 11 or maybe just finished school and working out what to do next. And I suppose the first thing that would be interesting to get your input on is really like what sort of skill set do you want to build before you finish school?
Well, that all depends on what the person wants to do. And I know no one, or hardly anybody knows what they want to do.
Yeah.
And they can dick around for years after high school and not go to uni or contemplate going to uni and they're not quite sure what they want to do. So I think whilst at high school, have fun at high school. I think school for me was just a compulsory daycare centre.
Right.
I would have been out hustling if I knew what hustling was and what sales was. I would have been out doing that in grade 9.
Right.
But what can they do? Getting back to your question, what can they do whilst they're at high school? Be at high school.
Yeah.
Do your assignments and your grades.
So don't skip out early. Actually, be there, do the work.
Yeah, I think it's super important to go to high school. I don't. People say it's high school dropout and they've got like a high end day. Not knocking high end days. And sorry, no, they've got high school dropouts and then they've got university graduate. University graduate driving a high end day. They've got high school dropouts driving a Lamborghini.
Right.
And look, it does have that ball of stigma attached to it to drop out early and do some cool shit with your career, be a business entrepreneur or whatever. I agree with that, but I'm not saying I don't think you should drop out of high school.
The percentage of people that drop out and have that level of success versus the percentage that drop out and don't is like gigantic. So I don't think the advice is drop out because it's cool, but if you know it's right for you, if you know it is and you know what you want to be doing, that's different. But I suppose most people don't.
No, absolutely. If you know what you're doing, drop out. There we go.
Cool. I love it.
Okay.
What do you think about uni?
Well,
especially in the web dev space, that's where you spend your time, in the web dev space.
I've always had this thing about institutions teaching web developers how to code and go to university. Sure, there are a very, very small percentage, probably like 3 or 4% of companies in Brisbane will want people to have, web developers to have a degree. What do I think about it? I never went to university. And for me, it was just a place to go do assignments, get a bit of paper, teaches you a bit of a broad knowledge across whatever you're going to learn about. This is in the tech space. Okay? Doctors, as far as we know now, universities are making millions with doctors, lawyers, accountants, all those more traditional industries going there to get a bit of paper to learn how they do what they do. But in our space, in web development, you don't need to go to university. In fact, what they teach is their curriculums are way too behind for the pace and how technology is advancing.
And too rigid anyway.
So they're irrelevant.
Yeah, definitely. I've heard the same thing where like the school system is so rigid that then like even at a lecturer level they're not willing to adapt fast enough or to learn fast enough. And that really presents most of the challenges. So what about then? I finished school. I've gotten into some code when I was in high school, a little bit, say, and I want to get out into an entry level position. What sort of things are sort of like companies looking for at that entry level? What sort of stuff should I also be doing, like when I'm not, before I go into that job, should I be doing to really like bulk up my resume?
Well, first of all, you want to create a LinkedIn profile. I was speaking to somebody just yesterday about LinkedIn and what it is, and she'd never ever heard of it before. And this is something that they should teach in grade 11 or grade 12, LinkedIn. It's basically, for those who don't know, it's Facebook for business. So there's professionals on there. So I would create one of those, fill it out, deck it out with what you've got. You might not have anything, but just deck it out, be there, pay attention to it. Download the app on your phone, use it. But what could they be doing? What do businesses want to see from juniors is that they've given a damn and they've gone and they've paid forward. They've gone out, they've done heaps of stuff, they've volunteered to build a website for the local milk shop, or they've hustled to do it for $300. They want to see that you've made an attempt to have a bit of a folio of stuff that you've completed on, and that it's good.
So it's about putting in the time to get some experience. And what about like just, I'd be really interested to hear your take on, there's a whole lot of like online platforms now that you can use to learn from. There's like the obvious ones like Code Academy, there's Udacity, there's Udemy, there's a whole lot of these platforms now where they're literally out there trying to teach you to code, right? It's like, What about those? Are those valued at all, or are they just good to basically like just build a little bit of a skill set?
I think those are brilliant, like Code Academy. There's another one in Sydney. This dude's always on Twitter, hustling his company. Daniel CPN. I forget his name. I think they're awesome, man. They teach you the syntax, the logicalness behind developing and what it is.
Right.
I mean, I haven't done them myself, but from what I've seen and what I've heard from people in the marketplace doing them, I think they're awesome.
Right.
Far better than going to a TAFE or a university.
Right.
Because, you know, they're online for a start.
Yeah.
Their whole business is shaped for online. The whole approach and everything is far more relevant than going to an institution, sitting down and with all these students in a classroom.
Yeah.
You know, it's for those that can do it and are super passionate about getting into the web development space. Finding one of these businesses that teach you how to code online is brilliant. Like, what's the Envato?
Right.
In Melbourne.
Yeah.
They're a brilliant setup. I've heard
They're a massive company now too.
Many good things about them. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Well, there you have it. You're finishing school, so it's like while you're at school, get as much experience under your belt as you can, but do well. When you finish, unless you're really passionate about university, you could skip it, get real experience, self-study, do what you can, and go out there and hunt down a job.
This is the digital space, and a lot of people say as well. Sorry to just roll.
No.
A lot of people say as well that. For certain jobs that they have, like for certain like sort of digital producer role or any sort of marketing assistance role or marketing in general, it is important to have a degree.
Yeah, sure.
Coding is in a league of its own. It's balling out on its own over here. If you know how to code and you've built stuff and you get the whole how it's sort of made up, you don't have to go and learn at a formal education institute or get a bit of paper that tells you how to do it. What you've done will speak loud enough for you yourself.
Yeah, no, I think it goes both ways, right? Like if you're really passionate about it and you want it and you go do it, that's fine. I don't think people are going to probably look down at you for having it, but as to whether or not it's absolutely crucial to have, that's to be seen.
The one thing not to do, don't go to university, do your assignments, work your part-time job, do your assignments, finish, then go out in the real world and say, got my piece of paper, where's my job?
I've got all this experience at university, yeah. Yeah, no.
Problem.
Too easy. There you go.
Thanks for watching.